Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Welcome to the Mystical's Corner, where this space is created to empower you to reclaiming your voice, to rise in your power, and to live as your most authentic self. My name is Keela, and I am a girl who just loves all things spirituality, and I am particularly in love with being a student to my life. And that is the joy that I am finding in my philosophy journey. You know what I mean? I decided to shift my focus to being a true student to my life. And this is why we're here today. Okay. This is an expression of just that. And today's topic is something that has freed me. Okay. And I'm hoping that it will give you some awareness or have you curious about just what you're discovering in your world and how to get to the most peaceful, harmonious place in your life. And so we're going to just dive right on in. Today's topic is moderating your needs. And that is, we're going to look at it from the angle of flowing from the inside out. So, moderating your needs. Hmm. All right. Just see how this sits with you. You may even feel like, I don't even know where she's going with this. Okay. So, have my notes here. So, today's intention, we're going, we got to get the intentions in. Today's intentions is we will explore how to honor your natural needs while navigating your earthly ones. Okay. Keeping you in alignment by practicing flow. And what has really brought me to this topic is, like I said, something that I have had to learn in my own life. And I had gotten to this space of really assessing my needs because I felt like I was being challenged so much in my external world. Okay. And seeing how things were placed in my world that did not serve me in a way to where I am my best self, it put me in this survival space. When for me, when I was looking to my external world to address my needs, I was never fulfilled. Okay. When I was looking outside of myself to fulfill my needs, I always needed more. I was never fulfilled and I was never satisfied, and I didn't feel my best as a human. And when I start to notice the cycles of going after those needs and striving for something and always seeking for something out here, I had to just really take a step back to say, okay, I have done all of these things and I am still needing something. So I decided to really take a pause to honor what my body is asking of me, to listen, to put myself in a space of listening. And when it's time to listen, that is a whole nother level of sacrifice. I would say surrendering and even just being obedient to what you don't know exists on the other side of doing what you know you need to do. And being in this reality, you really have to tussle with yourself to separate yourself from the external reality, from the chaos that's happening in the world, from everybody's business, from the drama to work stuff. Like, you really have to step outside of that to come into your world. And when you begin to come into your world, it can be quiet. It can be, you can find some resistance there because it's like, what am I doing this for? It can feel hard to do, but that's why I say it feels like a sacrifice, and it is a form of surrendering because maybe you don't want to. You know what I mean? Maybe You find comfort in knowing that I see this chaos. I see that it exists and I can be in that because I can see it. But when it's time to step into the world of the unseen, it is a form of surrendering. All right. But it is something to be obedient to, because when you think about your body, when you think about your mind and your spirit and your soul, all these many layers to yourself, and you have not heard or given any space and time to that, yes, yes, it will be difficult, but yes, you can do it. Yes, you can change the view of your needs from looking at what you need internally. Okay. Focusing your attention on what you need in here. Okay. That means taking a break from reality, separating yourself from reality. And this don't have to be that, it's take a moment. Start with a moment. You deserve that. The God in you deserves that, right? And see what your internal needs need. Okay. So, and I feel like I've already gotten to about the middle of the video, but that was just the intro, pre-intro. So, some of the things that I wrote down, we can just go ahead and get right into it. We all have needs, some nature, all right, and some earthly. I'm not taking that away from you. There are things that we have to have out here to, I would say, thrive, to be well. Okay. And when you listen to your inner needs, your inner world, that will put you in the right circumstances for your external world. And that's that as above, so below mentality. And so the key is to stay in balance of that balance. So, one way to recognize which needs you're honoring more is, are you operating from a survival space or a maintenance space? And when I say maintenance, it's like you create certain daily habits that brings out the best in you to keep yourself in balance. So maintenance means balance, survival means all over the god doggone place. Okay? So the key is to stay in balance, but also know the difference of the needs. Okay? Because we can often get confused on pursuing earthly needs when in truth our reality. Hold on, I can't read my notes, y'all. Okay. It don't make no sense to me. But some of the key points, and we'll talk about the natural versus the earthly. The natural needs are soul level. Okay, this this is what will bring you peace. This is what will bring you clarity. This is what will make you aware of your purpose, your true desires. This is what will take you out of that grind hustle mentality and begin to slow things down. Because when you think about it, when things are happening at a soul level, I think about purpose. I think about fulfillment. I think about passion. I think about pleasure. I think about alignment. Okay. And I think about being your best self. I think about authentic. It's so much that comes with the soul level of our eternal needs, which is why you have to make sure that you are maintaining the needs of your soul so that you are in balance, so that when you are in your earthly reality, things flow to you. Things come to you easily because you are nourished from the inside out. Your earthly needs are world level. That's money, that is recognition, comfort, and productivity. And so when you are honoring the inner needs, it, like I said, it'll naturally put you into alignment to what you are supposed to be pursuing or being out here in your reality. And it's like, how would you know where to go if you haven't tapped into yourself? What is your guide if you don't listen to yourself at a soul level? That is a major question to answer. So if you aren't tapped into your internal world, into your needs, your triggers, your trauma, your challenges, but then also like what is good about your life, what is good about what you've created, if you are not tapped into that, then what is your foundation? What is your guide to living in society, in on this earth? That is a very important question. What is your why to why you exist? Is it because you created all of these things and now you have to make sure that you can keep all of these things, but you are not aligned to your soul level mission or purpose? You're not in alignment to the guidance of the Most High that resides in you. What is your foundation if you are not in alignment to that light in you? I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from the earthly needs, right? It is just balancing things from a grounded place. When you are grounded, you are tapped into your needs. You are tapped into your self care, your self love, and you are honoring that first so that when you are met in the world, it's, it's alignment. It's beautiful attractions, it's beautiful experiences, it's beautiful connections. Okay. So it's not to take anything away, both of them are valid, but it is going back to the foundation. What is your foundation? Is your foundation from an external place or is it from an internal place? Are you grounded? Do you feel safe? Do you feel connected to yourself? Do you feel connected to the Most High? Do you feel connected to all of the things? Okay. And I wouldn't even say things, connected to the energy that brings peace and joy and light and harmony into your life. Have you made that a part of your prayer or your manifestation? Do you contemplate on increasing your quality of life? And if you contemplate on those things, are you curious about the how to do it? It's just asking yourself, like, you have all the answers. Everything that you could possibly want, desire, or need is here first. Like I said, you can only manifest who you are. You can only bring to life and attract who you are, what you do, and how you operate in your world. Okay. Okay. So reflection and awareness will be your best friends during this process. Because in order to know what your internal needs are, you must reflect. You must make time to see what those needs are, journal what those needs are, meditate, pray, talk to yourself or the Most High about what those needs are for you. That's reflection. And what you do with what you reflect on matters. So if your body tells you that it needs to release, I'll just say something as simple as people pleasing, but it's people pleasing within a certain relationship. If you know, if your internal world told you that this is a problem for you and that this does not make you your best self, you then have a choice. If you don't proceed with inspired change, changing things in a way to where it works for you, communicate. It don't mean you have to cut relationships off, but you can cut off that people pleasing um aspect in you, right? So when you reflect and it tells you that this is something that you need to look at and focus on and change, you then have the responsibility to go and do that. And then if you don't, you will remain right here. Okay? So and all that has to do with awareness. Now that you know that, you are aware of it. That's what awareness means. And so it's take time to reflect on the needs, making sure you aren't pressured by your environment to do something, to operate in a way that does not align with your wellness. Okay? If you are not grounded and rooted into, I would say, the spirit of the Most High, whatever your faith is, but then also your soul level's mission, if you're not rooted in that, your society will tell you what to do. It will tell you who you are. It will tell you which way to go. And usually that way will keep you so far from yourself, so far from the God in you. It will keep you far from peace and harmony. So you get to choose how you want to show up in the world. You get to choose how you want to experience your reality. Okay, but it starts with the care and nurture of your needs, moderating your needs from the inside out. And a lot of this may sound repetitive, but it has to be that way so that it is resonating, okay, with the needs in your body. All right. Um, Making sure that you aren't pressured by your environment or society to fulfill something that isn't in alignment with your personal needs. And that's just exactly what I see. All right. So being heavily consumed in the earthly things will challenge you to be more consumed in your heavenly things. And think of it like this: you can create heaven in here. So you have earth, your reality, and this can be your form of heaven. You can be devoted to making yourself well, devoted to creating the best life possible. And the other day when I was reflecting, I really decided and I chose to become devoted to all of the things in my life that I have created. Myself, my life work, my my schooling assignments, my I would say my degree, me pursuing my degree, my family, if I haven't mentioned that already, and my community. I'm devoted to that because I feel like it is an act of praising God that I can pour into myself and then pour into my life in a way that serves me well. It's like you have to adopt or cultivate this abundant mindset to be able to do this. And so if I'm looking at this as a way that I get to praise the Most High, then you look at it different. You treat it different. You're more caring. You're more nurturing. You prioritize it, okay, because it means something to you. It's deep. I care enough to do that. And so what may seem like a sacrifice to others is not much of a sacrifice to me anymore. At first it was a sacrifice. At first I had to really surrender to this life because I was in between. I was in between clearing old things and old ways and old patterns and thoughts, beliefs that kept me in the reality of the earthly world. And I decided to be here because it is more peaceful here. I only have to think about my wellness because if I only pour into this and I'm overflowing, it naturally blesses everything else that I am a part of and everything that I get to experience. So I moderate my needs by balancing it from the inside out. All right. Um, some signs of imbalancing though is overindulgence, choosing external validation and or distractions. Okay. When you overindulge in food, technology, social media, you are not giving yourself the opportunity to rest. And when I mean rest, I'm not just talking about sleep. I'm talking about your mind. You already got things that you are responsible for in your life. And so when you do actually sit down to take a break, the first thing you do is pull up all the other stuff that's going on in the world, all the other energies, and who knows what your algorithm look like. So it's really prioritizing and being mindful of the energy that you let into your world, being mindful of the energy that's already in there. When do you get a break? When do you get a break? When was the last time you've taken a moment to just be with yourself for an extended period of time? When? It's so necessary for the season that we're in. And as you can tell with the way society is right now, you might want to bring your energy into yourself. You might want to focus in on, okay, if all of this is going on and this is driving fear into my life, it is making me anxious, it is making me scared, it is making me feel like I just bring your energy back to you. Bring it back to the most high in you. Ask the most high in you, the spirit of the all, your highest self. However you choose to, name that light in you, bring it back into you and ask it to give you safety here first. The most high in you don't like operating from a place of just fear and anxiety, confusion. All of those things is low vibrational. It does not serve you well. It makes you afraid. And those are necessary responses to know that you need to go in and moderate your needs. Okay? Those are not just feelings that you learn to live with. I tried that before, it does not work. You have to bring it in, moderate your internal needs. See what this fear is coming from. See what these why is this making me anxious? What am I afraid of? What am I wanting to avoid? Because most of the time with this, we do want to avoid not being here in this realm, right? It does seem a little scary if something unforeseen happens and I just have to transition. Okay. But you don't need to learn to live with those. You need to learn how to transmute those, understanding the root of why this is bringing fear into my life, especially if I trust God. Why is this person making me scared when I say I trust God? Where is actually God is? Where is God right now while I'm scared? Have you connected to that light in you? Have you connected to the light in you? Um, what else do I have? Another form of imbalance is suppression, ignoring your body and emotional cues. We just talked about fear, just talked about anxiety. We can go in and talk about anger and sadness now. Those are cues that your needs need moderating. Your body is trying to let you know that with anger, maybe there is something to, maybe there's a boundary I need to place. Maybe there's something that I need to communicate with somebody about. Sadness, maybe I need to let something go. Anxious, what am I trying to prepare myself for? What event am I afraid of that my body is already trying to prepare itself for? What is it? So it's making space to say, this is what I'm afraid of. This is what I need to let go. Oh, I am sad about that. Oh, that happened 5 years ago. I did not know that it's still affecting me. Yes. Unprocessed challenges, trauma, pain, it lives in you. Actually, it's guiding your life subconsciously. It's helping you make choices. So if you're not aware of your needs and what you and how to operate through those emotional cues and figuring out a way to express your fear or your anger, your sadness or your anxiety, you have to make space for that. You have to moderate that. It's not happening for no. Your body is probably the best guide that you have to tell you about your reality and your circumstances and your past. It's all merging together because it's wanting to create something good in you. You didn't go through things for just no reason. You have a story to tell, but you cannot tell your story from an imbalanced place because that could come off as judgmental or projection. You want to be able to extract the wisdom from your challenges and your trauma and your pain by actualizing it, understanding it, getting the lesson out of it even, you know? And so um a reflection question that you could ask yourself is, am I honoring my soul's need or reacting to the world's pressure? I'm going to read it again. Am I honoring my soul's need or reacting to the world's pressure? You don't have to operate in this grind hustle like mentality, you know? And if you have to, make sure that you are making space to moderate your needs so that when you are grinding or when you are hustling, you are doing it from a grounded place. So it may be movement, but I'm not I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not surviving it. This is just my method. But my needs are met. My needs are maintained. They're moderated. Okay? So some things to just take note of. Self-awareness. Notice which need is speaking to you. Okay? Pause and reflect. Ask, is this need coming from the soul, survival, or societal expectations? Moderate and align. Respond in a way that balances both. Okay? Respond in a way that balances both. Instead of scrolling, which is an earthly distraction, try journaling, okay? Or actually connecting with a friend in real life, okay? Bringing that energy in, right? Is you get to choose. So we can go ahead and land the plane because I already have repeated a few things, and I feel like I have made it into a way to where you can see earthly, natural, and how both of them are valid. But one, the natural should lead the earthly one, okay? From the inside out, as above, so below. So moderating your needs isn't about perfection. It's about creating harmony and flow in your life. Okay? I don't know if I really want to look like this way. So this just gives you the opportunity to create a natural flow in your life, creating clarity, okay? Groundedness, purpose, harmony, peace. Most people just want peace. Okay? Most people just want peace. And if this session here resonated with you, let me know how. And if you have something, a different perspective to add, let us know in the comments. I love talking about wellness and getting to a space of peace, a space of being in being in what's the word? Because I'm merging play and pleasure in my internal world, but having fun and enjoying life and just connecting and managing your needs so you're not going after something that isn't for you. Okay. Usually, if you're trying to address an external need and it's not already here, then you have to go here for that need because you may end up in the wrong place, allowing society to guide your needs for you. Okay. So yeah, if this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. Um, yeah. So until next time, be love, be light, be peace, so that you can receive love, light, peace. Peace.